There's a moment before spring arrives when everything still looks like winter. The trees are still bare, the air still carries the chill, and sometimes a spring season doesn't begin outside of us. It begins with a small reaching, a quiet decision to trust that the light is still faithful. Winter teaches me how to sit in the dark and is once again teaching me the difference between my roles and the essence of who I truly am. And if I'm honest, I think part of me expected that by now, every season would feel manageable. That after enough growth, enough surrender, enough learning the language of seasons, I wouldn't feel the struggle. I would finally move through them with ease. But just like the natural world needs the rhythm of seasons to bring forth fruit and flourishing, our lives tend to move through these same rhythms. And I think the past few years I've enjoyed soaking up and lingering in the spring and summer seasons after weathering some intense fall and winter seasons. I mean, who doesn't love the aliveness that comes with the spring season? Every cell in your body is infused with flourishing. The growth, it seems endless, and the wonder and whimsy of summer arrives when things fill and flow and life just feels lighter. And here's the part that I thought I already knew, but obviously needed to be reminded of. Once again, that seasons change. And more importantly, seasons change and they change us. As much as I enjoyed the flourishing seasons, I'm well aware that they were developed in the autumn seasons of me letting go. Letting go of identities that I had taken on, some that were keeping me from new growth that was very much needed in my life. Flourishing that came from seeds sustained and watered in the darkness of winter seasons. Seeds that felt dead until they burst through the hard winter soil with new life. So yeah, new things don't develop in us if we only live in the seasons that feel easy. And yes, there's still a part of me that wishes age and maturity meant mastery over every season. But that's not how it works. We don't graduate from seasons. We grow inside of them. And the season I seem to be in right now is asking something of me. To clear away what's been left behind by past storms. The fallen lights, the leaves that gathered over time. Things I've let sit even though I knew they needed tending. Because sometimes growth doesn't start with reaching. Sometimes it starts with cleaning up the mess. And yeah, the nicer shoes are intentional these days. Because in the middle of clearing things away and clearing up some messes, I'm realizing the reaching part of this season for me is for beauty and goodness. The shoes are a reminder to me that I get to choose how I stand. The truth is, I tend to avoid the mess sometimes. Actually, a lot of times. Not the fallen lights out back or the piles of things sitting around, but the things that they represent. Because dealing with them usually brings up thoughts that I'd rather not sit with. You know, the kind that can send me spiraling if I'm not in a good space. So, like I tend to do, I ended up creating something that I needed myself. Even though the Think on These Things journal was originally a section of a larger project that I plan to release this spring, it became really clear to me that this practice is something that I need right now. And I know I'm not the only one. In the slowing down and getting still, I noticed it wasn't quiet. The world seems a little extra these days. Extra conflict, extra opinions, lots of extra noise. Noise that we can get accustomed to until we notice how it's slowly killing us. What are the thoughts filling my heart and mind? I began to notice what I was thinking. Because the season wasn't the only thing shaping me. My thoughts were too. I started asking myself simple questions. What am I rehearsing in my mind? What story am I telling about this season? Am I focusing on what feels barren or on what is quietly becoming? Think on these things has become more than a verse to me. It's become a practice, a discipline of holy attention. The Spirit is present, but I still choose where to set my gaze. I still decide what I allow to take root and to grow. So maybe walking into spring isn't the absence of winter. Maybe it's the quiet courage to keep turning toward the light, to reach for the lamp, to light the candle, to open the window, even when the landscape hasn't caught up yet. If you're standing at the edge of a season that hasn't visibly changed, you're not foolish for hoping. You're responding to something stirring beneath the surface. And maybe flourishing isn't arriving. Maybe it's walking slowly, faithfully toward the light.